What up, stoners? My name's Ethan Stone Hadfield, and welcome to my fucking nightmare. Not too long ago on Instagram, I asked my followers to ask me any question they wanted, and out of 339 followers, 8 followers responded, which was pretty disappointing. That's really only a response rate of 0.023%, which, I mean, why the hell are you even following me then? Now, this could have been my fault. Maybe my call to action was lacking. Maybe people started to notice that I only take photos with an open mouth smile, like a silly selfie, you know? Yeah, I don't want to take serious ones because then it would open my physical appearance to criticism, that I can't stop taking these selfies because I need my self-esteem to increase, but I can't stop making joke ones, you know? Because you can't tell me that it looks bad because I know it looks bad. It was made to look bad. The selfie was made to look bad and silly. You can't call me ugly if I'm looking bad and silly. Having said that, these 8 people have been waiting on their answers for a very long time. So let's get into the first ever answering Instagram questions for this channel. So a couple of you sent me some fuck, marry, kills. And for those of you who are not in the loop, that is not a phrase slandering the first marry kill that I found on LinkedIn. I hope the quality assurance business is treating you well, though, Mary. It's actually a hypothetical scenario in which you are given 3 options. And out of those 3 options, you have to choose which one you lay with, the real fucking nasty style, which one you join in matrimony, and which one dies for being born third prettiest. Got it memorized? On to the first scenario, then. Initials LGTV asked me, would I fuck, marry, kill out of Dr. Pepper, chicken, and Fisher College? And right off the bat, I'm gonna let you know that I'm going to kill chicken. And that's because while I'm not on Twitter anymore, I was when that McChicken video hit, and that guy is not remembered favorably for that, and neither would I if I followed in his footsteps, so chicken's gotta go. I'm killing chicken. Afterwards, I'm gonna fuck Dr. Pepper, and this is gonna get into a little guy stuff, but once I can get past the carbonation attacking my tip and shaft, that's sex with 23 flavors at once. That's impressive. That's something I can't pass up. The only thing more impressive would be fucking a Baskin Robbins. So that leaves Fisher College to marry, and Fisher College is my alma mater. Don't believe me? Ask the dishes and check their website. There's a picture of me with a dyed pompadour. And in this scenario, I'm hoping by becoming husband in college, in this union, they're going to forgive my student loans. Now, that's all I really care about inside of this marriage. I don't care if they want kids. I don't care if they're keeping bank accounts from me, all right? I know that there's pills that help you get over those humps in marriage. And before I move on to the next fuck, marry, kill, LG asked me another question, and that was, who is my favorite Lex? And here's the thing. This person's name is Lex. This is a classic fishing for compliments type thing, and I don't take kindly to that because that is trying to manipulate me, and people have done that so much in the past and I just don't fuck with it anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just Google the first Lex, and that's going to be my favorite Lex, alright? Because you asked for this. So, alrighty, this is what you asked for. This is what you asked for. Bringing it up. Lex. And Lex is the text-centered social app that connects queer lovers and friends. Pretty interesting. And upon further research, it also showed to have glowing reviews among ages 20 to 37, with Hookup Date calling it a 100% legit lesbian hookup app. So, I ask you, LG, how could that not be my favorite Lex? Get at it, lesbians. Fuck! God damn it, that was not on purpose. I digress with all of that stuff. Back to the topic at hand. Initials KL asked me who I would fuck, marry, kill between the Queen, dead or alive, Matt Berry, and Noel Fielding. And already we are off to a terrible start because they're all British. But since I'm not playing kill, 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 I will choose a pair of gross teeth to kiss. And first, I'm killing the Queen. Oh, she's dead? Okay. Kill her again. Send her dusty ass to super hell. Racist classist hag. Doesn't deserve my hand in marriage or my cock in coitus. So she gets the devil's pitchfork instead. Next after that, I'm gonna fuck Matt Berry. That seems like the obvious option. I mean, if you can play Dr. Sanchez and Stephen Toast, it's not up for debate. You just exude raw sexual energy. The man's definitely a monster in the bedroom, and I'm gonna let him ravage my asshole. And that just leaves Noel Fielding to marry, and I'm okay with that, because I imagine our wedding would have a wonderful Great British Bake Off style cake. You know, he's a very charming baked good related host, unlike my mortal enemy Mikey Day, who I cannot wait to hate watch in Is It Cake Season 2. I'll see you on day 1, Mikey, you fucking bastard. But back to Fielding, if the Boosh ever did anything again, I would also be in the loop on that, and I can't pass up that either, so yeah, gonna marry Noel. That about wraps up the Fuck, Marry, Kills, though, so thank you very much for initials KL and Elegy of Emptiness for letting me objectify people for a bit, but let's move on to the next questions. Speaking of Brits, a real live one actually sent us in a question, so initials OD, unfortunate initials there, asked us goo. This is what I mean. You people don't make sense. You people don't make fucking sense. Goo? Sure. Goo. On to the next question. Initials AS asked, why does God allow suffering? And it's an interesting question, but it's one that I actually feel to be an authority on. Now, I could go all r/atheism in the video, God allows suffering because God doesn't exist. That's why babies choke on their macaroni and hot dog chunks, because there is no divine power watching over the soft spot on their heads. But that's too easy and very heretic of me. So I'm going to say we put on our Ben Shapiro thinking caps and hypothetically say God does exist. So why the suffering? My research led me to July 13th, 2018, the day that Fortnite pop star princess Ariana Grande releases her slam dunk hit, God is a Woman. And let's pump the brakes for a second, because God's not upset by being called a woman. God very well could be a woman, or not be a woman, or be more than this, It could be one of the children of the moon, like a Taco Bell spork shoved on a spoon. Just stop sidetracking me. The point is that God isn't upset about the assumption of God's gender. God doesn't have dyed lilac hair. That's because through divine power in Wikipedia, God was able to find out that the song was not intended to be recorded by 50% of Sam and Cat. It was intended to be recorded and released by Camila Cabello, and you can find the demo for it on YouTube. Go ahead, look it up. And this pisses God off. And that's because while Ari did end up taking over, God now knows that a song about them is a few degrees away from Shawn Mendes. And that's just gross to God. God also doesn't like Charlie Puth. That really doesn't have anything to do with this, but I'm just putting that awareness out there for my Catholic viewers. And God feels slighted by this, and since God is omnipotent, time isn't linear, and now humans have suffered throughout history, all because of Shawn Mendes. I mean, think about it. Next, initials AVE asked me, how am I? And after my answer to that last question, I'm going to leave that entirely up to the interpretation of the viewer. But they also did ask me the question, what my favorite color is. And ever since I was a kid, it has been green. Now, I can't really remember the reason why. I had a reason, but honestly, much like trying to remember what I had for dinner when I was like 4, I just can't fucking remember. It's lost the time. So it's green. I don't really question it. Brown's pretty cool too. I like brown. All colors of healthy stool. And one final question from AVE, and they asked me, what do I think about groundhogs? And when I think about it, I'm more indifferent or mixed on them, because it's like, do I think a celebrity groundhog deserves an entire day during Black History Month? Now, unless Phil wants to come forth and speak about his ethnicity, then I'm going to default to no. But I do enjoy the movie and musical that the holiday spawned, so it's kind of like a two wolves situation, Though, did you know that in 1942, war clouds partially blocked off some of Punxsutawney Phil's shadow, and then in 1945, World War II ended, which means that Groundhog Day probably had no bearings over World War II being resolved. Feel free to use that at parties. All right, I'm going to be going through these next ones lightning fast, so let's go. Initial CL asked me 2 questions. First one, why can't pigs fly? And CL, that is such an easy answer. That is because pigs, as of 2022, drive Chevy Tahoes, Dodge Durangos, and Ford Explorers. You then asked me, what came first, the chicken or the egg? And while I don't have a definitive answer to that, I can say that whoever did come first, I hope they were able to soon get it up afterwards, and if not, they went down on the others. After that, initials JM asked me, would I rather be able to eat through my butt or pee out my mouth? And the funny thing is, I would say if given access to anal beads about 30 minutes before the meal, I would definitely be able to eat through my butt. The funny thing is, I can actually pee out my mouth. Now we have reached the final question, and the final question comes to us from initials BP, and cool initials, dude. Thanks for the oil spill. And real quick, BP, before I answer your question, I'm going to drop a little advice bomb for you, all right? So listen close. Come here. I think you should take a look into that oil spill again, because I smell sabotage, all right? Specifically with Dawn dish soap, okay? There's no way their intentions for cleaning all those little puffins and the ducks and the turtles. There's no way it was altruistic, all right? You spilled black and they saw green. But now that that's out of the way, BP, you asked me, where is the clitoris? A very interesting question, because I only recently found out the clitoris was even a thing. I don't mind getting a little vulnerable on this channel for a second. I used to be a selfish lover in the past. I refused to do hand and mouth stuff. I thought fingering and licking, that's for the KFC slogan. That is not for vaginas. I didn't even like looking down there. I thought it was a ghastly sight. So would you believe the look on my face when I found out that women can achieve a climax through clitoral stimulation? Because beforehand, like, pre-sex communicating to me was just asking, do you come from jackhammering or do you not come at all? That's the past though, that's my past. And while I could just Google this, my mom still checks my internet history because back in 2004, I took her credit card and I spent it on Nick Arcade. She hasn't let me live it down since. That I was definitely in the wrong for, but I don't regret it since honestly SpongeBob 3D Obstacle Odyssey was fucking sick. So, BP, viewers, friends, how about you join me for a quick little jaunt around Boston where I know a place we can find exactly where the clitoris is, and maybe some memories.
Alrighty, so things didn't go completely according to plan. While I did go in and got to look at some of the books, the man did refuse to tell me where the clitoris was. However, he did read to me a little bit from his favorite novel and gave me a copy. So, been pretty interesting. And if anyone does know where former President Ronald Reagan is, if you could just leave that in the comments, that would be super helpful. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.